Well, hi. What a shitty day. I'm blocked both my accounts on Facebook now. Only 3 days on the private account. I got jumped on Sophie LaBelle's wall and got a little too ugly with someone getting trannier now with me. I got insulting about her needs for surgery that she was bitching about. Yeah, I've been trying to clean. That's mainly what I'm going to do. I'm going to play a little bit and putter around in here, try to get things straight behind me. So, let me read you some shit from today. You can't post or comment for 3 days. She came at me with some real bullshit. And I said, "Oh, bless your heart, Dana Creasman. Sorry about your passing problem. Maybe you can get a tracheal shave and a few inches taken off your legs." And they didn't like that. I requested a review. I reviewed the whole thread. Let's see if they give me the whole. No, they haven't. Oh, let's see what's on my page. I really post, start from this morning and work back. I think I've been about publishing, being a desktop publisher. I'm publishing about the news and information that interests me, and publishing and entertaining things. And I think I put a pretty good mix out there. So let me start with this morning, which started out bullshit. Let me find this morning. I posted a lot today. Pretty funny shit too. Come on, where is it? Where's the beginning of the day? Wow, long day. 13 hours. That'd be about 8 o'clock. And I got up at about 6, I think. We're getting toward the beginning. Okay. There's the break right there. When I got up this morning, somebody had posted something about Joe Cocker. Oh no, somebody had posted. One of my friends had been in the dumps for the last few days, and all her friends had gathered around her. And this morning, she posted a thank you note to all her friends for all the help she got. And I went and grabbed Joe Cocker's with a little help from my friends. Now, the one that I like is one about the same time I met him in 1982. And in this one, he's like tripping his brains out. So I started with that. That was how the day started. Then I shared something that says, with a bunch of pictures of Trumpers on it, it says, white privilege is when Time magazine adopts the term alt-right so they don't have to say racist assholes. So then I got to my messages this morning and found something that set this one off. When you've been insulted as deeply as I was insulted yesterday by at least 2 members of the new Southern Arizona Gender Alliance board, it is difficult to stay above the narcissistic authoritarian queers behind the action and not call them out publicly by name, but I won't stoop to that here. In the time that I've lived here, Saga has never been of much use to local trans people, besides baby trans people needing help getting connected to healthcare and community. There was much more value for us in what they do in the way of educating institutions in trans sensitivity. Once we're up and running, Saga doesn't offer anything in the way of regular social events for us, and we need to go find our own party. Although the old board and I were never what one would call friends, we've always been good neighbors. And Abby Louise Jensen, the first trans person I met in Tucson, has always been a guy that blew up into a flame war and had me blocked. The flashpoints for me here are the usual ones. Trannier and mouth thought policing with demands for special treatment for themselves and militancy rather than respectability in the discourse, with a whole lot of ageist privilege asserted by the children in defiance of their elders attempting to tone police the discussion. I kid you not, my removal from this group by these two children, yes, power children tripping, was due to their fear of what I had to say. So here's from one of them. The one that actually did the deed never responded to me at all in private. This one, hi, Tommy. I'm in the middle of moving, so it's been difficult to have time to formulate a response. I understand your frustration, but I also feel like you were not involved in the original post that prompted all these changes. You are still welcome to Saga events, but your discourse with our main moderator created a lot of extra and unnecessary labor for his fucking neoliberal fascist self. You were not censored. The fuck I wasn't. You were not part of that post, and I feel like you were coming at this from a frankly threatening way about how you were going to create posts in the Saga page that were worse and more dramatic than how Abby left the group. Now, I was only going to create one, and it was going to say more than I'm out. That feels decisive and not conductive to healthy discourse in the group. That is why you're removed, and I support the decision. I apologize. It's taken me a bit to get back to you. Clearly, because I was not part of that post and was objecting to the behavior of the participants, my standing as a member of the community was meaningless and an impediment to their hosing down the blown tempers, quieting all the quarreling queers. Dude, without an apology from you exceptional brats, if I ever show up to another Saga event, it'll be to picket it. Along with Abby, I only hope that after more than 20 years, this new board doesn't completely destroy the organization. From there, though, like her, I'm out. Thanks for at least having the intellectual, honest bond to me, unlike the arrogant authoritarian running the group. There's nothing for me in a group run by uptight, authoritarian, clearly toxic trans men who condone the outburst by one of their fellows in Abby's face in public and mine in private, but silence me because they fear my criticism. This is where my communication with the Saga board lies now. Dude started to write a book in response, so I blocked him. I'll still be volunteering with Human Rights Campaign and Southern Arizona AIDS Foundation, and I'm always available to Tucson and Rainbow parents and kids to help in any way that I can, but the narrative at Saga is in the toilet. I've referred to them as bogus assholes privately in a communication with Abby I shared. One point Abby made is that this is a clash of opinions, and it's unlikely that I'm going to change anybody's mind whose opinion is grounded in fear and loathing. Those are my words, not hers. I don't appreciate being called an asshole, Tommy. You're welcome to your opinion and to sort it out however you want, but please don't resort to name callings. Yes, my opinions can get pretty outrageous to people who are programmed to some. Uh-oh, I never checked the sound. That's Facebook. Hi, Molly. I guess the sound must be good. Hey, Top Dad. I did call you last night, and it went straight to voicemail. And I left you a note in the messenger that you never saw either. Anyway, that's from Facebook, and we're talking about the Saga group. Yes, my opinions can get pretty outrageous to people who are programmed to some conventional wisdom of their clique's belief system, grounded on false facts and twisted morality, resulting in some pretty spectacular chip-outs by the offended party, melting down in a bit of cognitive dissonance. For the people seeking sanity and kindness in the chaos, backed by verifiable fact, my opinions seem to be appreciated by many more people than want to call me out for them. So that was my first adrenaline rush of the day, which has gotten me perilously low on weed about 2 days early. I bought my last bag on Friday. I shouldn't need any before about Wednesday, and I'm running low tonight. So moving right along, let's see what's next. uh, oh, well, this was my alliterations bugged the crap out of my anti-fan club. I'm pretty sure that quieting, quarreling queers is my first Q alliteration of 3 words, and can extend it to 5 as quickly quieting, quarreling queer quizlings. It's inspiring me to ask group mods for some input on their best methods to quickly quiet quarreling queer quizlings when flame wars like that erupt in their groups. I prefer to temporarily bounce all parties and shut the fight down with a comment, disabling further comments. I'm a lot more open to suggestion and criticism from the membership than to bounce people who are complaining about the behavior, like the trans men running Saga's groups now. Oh, well, shit, Ann. That's upsetting. One of my favorite people, I can't even contact her now, was insulted by accident, by misunderstanding where I was coming from about something. What a fucking horrible day. And now I can't even apologize to her and explain. Ay. Do we have any trolls that want to give me any shit? That figures Sneasel would do something like that. I'm just so sick of all the hate. Everybody hating. They hate themselves and take it out on everybody else. And then they're so scared. They take things wrong that aren't meant to be hateful at all. I'm just so sick. I think I better play with my flute because I'm getting sick to my stomach, and I'm just shaking. I'm totally shaking from all the hate. What's like 200 posts? What they? Oh, the original thread. Oh, fuck yeah, cool, great. I'll do that. I'll do that. I can't play very much anymore since I wrecked my wrist. I never could play much. Well, let's get that out of the way. I quit. What happened to my wrist? Only that one. Only that one. When I was living in Del Valle in about, I guess it was 2007, I had some neighbors that were like, not funny, Molly. Not at all. I use my right hand. um, no, I had some neighbors who were like, he was like a mighty white man and hated me. And I wipe with my right hand too. Just don't ever tell anybody from the Middle East you do that if you're going to sit down and eat dinner with them from a communal pot. But anyway, this guy hated me and his kid hated me more. And I was riding my bicycle past their house one day and the kid released a pit bull on me. And I crashed the bike into a big gas pipe standing out of the ground and busted my wrist. And they said it, but I was started playing my flute too soon after they said it, and it didn't set properly. So there's this in it now, and I only have about a third of the strength left in the hand, and it cramps up when I'm playing the keyboard too much. Pretty quick. So how do haters make you famous? And what does cash me outside mean? Nate. Who's Nate? Oh boy. I need some flute just to settle my brains. 6 feet under his real name. I never heard of that. You have to understand that I'm totally like in the dark about TV and movies. Completely. Since like I haven't been in a movie theater since 1984, and I haven't had TV since 2004. So like I don't know any of this shit at all. None. I got no clue what you're talking about. And most popular music after 1980, I don't know. Forget it. I don't know that either. So let's see. Let's get back to the bullshit today. See, this is what my friend took wrong, and I would appreciate, Molly, if you could possibly contact her on the side and kind of apologize for me. I'm not naming any names here because I don't want anybody to get targeted. My friends in general are mostly artists, educators, or professional people, many retired. My transgender people, hello, what, let's start again. I forgot where I was. My transgender friends are the same way, and many are local organizers and activists, all strongly committed to inclusivity with mutual respect across the LGBTQ plus spectrum. I decided to drop the IA. Q plus, plenty. Spectrum, and for our cis-het allies. One of them has been in her cups lately with loneliness and self-doubt, and all her friends gathered around her to help her through it. This morning, she posted a thank you for all the help she got from her friends, and one of the girls said she was happy to see her feeling better and to hang in there. Naturally, I had my silly comeback to that cliche ready at hand and delivered this lovely brain part back. This is what she took exception to, was that statement. And I really feel badly because now as I remember her response, she was kind of like chill about it. This lady's an Army officer, like a major or something. Naturally, I had my active duty or like ready reserve or something. I'm not sure what her status is, but she appears in uniform a lot. Naturally, I had my silly comeback to that cliche ready at hand and delivered this lovely brain part back. I prefer to tell people to swing. It's too easy to hit a stationary target. Seriously, everybody, it's very often not at all easy, but we really need to roll with the punches and keep smiling no matter what. We need to get up in the morning, wash the sleep from our eyes, and be able to smile at what we see. Put on our best face and get on with eating all the shit sandwiches life has in store for us today. Every day is a good day. Some are better than others, though. What doesn't kill you today will not only make you stronger, but make a good story later. Wishing all a happy day every day and nothing but contentment in everything they do. Any material rewards really are just gravy. And that's about the point where I decided, okay, since this is Monday fucking morning, and last week was so full of quarreling queers and friends hurting really badly from illness, injuries, and insanity happening all around them, instead of tackling my news feed, I'm going to unleash a barrage of affirmations instead. I'm even going to start with a cat, which is very rare for me. I don't post many cats. The cat really has to be special. I mean, I was a grumpy cat fan for a while. He was way cool, but the cat really needs to be special, and they're usually big cats that I post that are doing something cool. And this cat was just saying, "Hey there, what's up? How you doing? Hope you're up to having a happy day." It's from some pet clinic. Then there's a Peanuts thing with Snoopy riding on Charlie Brown's shoulders, holding onto his head. It says, in life, it's not where you go, but it's who you travel with. And my comment was, I've hardly ever had anybody to travel with, but I've certainly met a lot of righteous people on the long, strange road I've been traveling. I hope to see some of my traveling friends at my 65th birthday bash in Santa Rita Park, November 3rd. Plenty of big rig parking in the neighborhood, and I can put a small RV in our parking lot. Next was think happy, be happy. And then Jonda, I don't know what Jonda happy day means. Happiness consists not in having, but of being, not of possessing, but of enjoying. This is a warm glow of a heart at peace with itself. And that's from Norman Vincent Peale. And then here's a little cartoon, kind of an anime-looking cartoon that says, please remember that when you feel scared or frightened, never forget times when you feel happy. When day is dark, always remember happy day. So this is kind of then I started looking at the news feed. It wasn't a bad day, but it was pretty not one of the better ones. uh, Trump had uh, a I forget what the survey was about, but Trump had a survey that just set me off. Because like right before I saw the survey, I'm reading the stories about him wanting to nuke hurricanes, which is like no doubt one of the top five most stupid things the man has ever said or has said since he's come to office. There's a lot of really stupid shit he said in the past. There's a old commercial of his floating around for some kind of Trump chicken thing. That's really weird. Um, so my response to Dear Donald J. Trump, you are one severely bloated, bloviating buffoon who is unquestionably the most ridiculously unfit man ever to sit behind the resolution desk. I'm sure I'll miss a few doozies, but in the course of only a week, you attempted to buy a country from a colonial power that had granted its people autonomy 40 years ago, declared yourself king of the Jews, called 80% of Jewish voters disloyal, just like Hitler did, lied about doctors leaving ERs to meet you in Dayton and El Paso, and now you want to nuke hurricanes. When was your last real mental health examination, sir? You're being put on display as a textbook example of Dunning-Kruger syndrome, DKS. I need to change that to DKE. It's Dunning-Kruger effect. I'm the one that calls it a syndrome. You might want to try lay off snorting crushed Adderall for a while. NOAA gets several inquiries about nuking hurricanes every year and have had this response on their back page 4 years, something your idiot chief self certainly didn't bother to check before stunning everybody in the room with your latest idiocy. Sincerely, Tommy Jane Wasserberg, Real Things Artisans Cooperative, a nonpartisan collective annoying politicians on the ground since 1985 and online since 1999. Check your Molly, check your messenger, and look for a number that you gave me the other day, 702 area code, I think it was. And I think I'm going to go and look for that thread, the saga thread, because it was the whole thing was withheld from me. I have no idea what was in it, who the participants were, or what they were saying, except for the one that got up in Abby's face. I never even saw the whole OP, just the part that was in the preview. Let's see what this bullshit is. What a disgusting creature this man is. I can hardly wait to get him into a courtroom. I really can hardly wait. This is a really disgusting creature. Anybody want to hear it? It's been going on longer than a week, Sneasel. You really are a foul, foul, foul person. You know, this person is trying to tell people that he's transgender. Here's this. There was one last meeting. Yeah, the trannies didn't do too well. Tom ended up blaming Latin homophobia. Yes. Bye. It all began a week ago at Tucson TUSD meeting at a local high school. The meeting was about a curriculum in the school district related to trannies. Full stop. Bullshit. It's LGBTQ inclusive, medically accurate, age appropriate sex education course. Period. Asshole. Basically, should we make an issue relevant to a sliver of the population, the centerpiece of health education? You better fucking believe it, boy blunder. Since trannies and kids are two things that get Big Tom, all hot and bothered, Tom made a point to show up. Tom's monumental speech can be found here. If you feel like boring yourself further, the entire meeting can be found here. The trannies didn't do too well. It should also be noted that Tom's creepy ass scared several women and girls out of the bathroom. This is also untrue. There were 3 young girls in there when I walked in the first time, and they didn't like the idea and walked out. Big fucking deal. Seriously, can I help you? Hello? Goodbye. I need to block this number. Excuse me. Let's see if that's the same number that called a minute ago. Nope. No, yeah, it is. Huh. Okay. These are not tranny cohorts. Chandler's tranny cohorts. If you look at the crowd, these are families with LGBTQ kids. And this man is just an evil, foul fascist motherfucker. Just a piece of shit white man. Outside, there was an impromptu tranny rally where, rather than arguing on the merits of the new curriculum, trannies took turn yelling into the megaphone about visibility and validity. That's a bunch of bullshit, too. There were teachers. There was 2 doctors, a clergyman, one of the school board people. Sneasel, you're a fucking liar. Nobody that's like real and intelligent believes your shit. I mean, you're popular with a bunch of fucking idiots that live in a virtual reality. Usually with their hands on their dicks or in their crotch or in their pussy all day long, masturbating to this shit. You got to go get a life. Go get a real life. Well, it was the most amazing. Here he's being an asshole. I should have worded it better. It was the most amazing act of civil disobedience that I've ever been at. How's that? I've seen plenty of cool shit like Tiananmen Square or the kid that stood up with and let the tank shoot him in Egypt. But that was not anything I actually attended. Fucking idiot. And I'm really not lonely at all. I just don't have any friends right here in town to have quality time for me. It's the only thing really bad. But I go out on the street and I always find people to hang out with a little bit. You're just a fucking idiot. You assume a lot of shit that's not true about people that you're stalking because you're an idiot, projecting your own self-denial of your own self-loathing on all of us. They were sent the screen caps of this. You know, and here he's assuming this. I never met the tranny who OP'd the shitstorm thread, ever. Apparently, she preemptively blocked me because she knew I was going to go ballistic on her. Fucking idiot. Well, let's see what's going on here. What an idiot. Okay, so who's here? Got anybody saying anything stupid? What are you objecting to, Moshe Ben Maimon? Thanks, Molly. From a Yahoo account, sent you an email to what? Are you serious? You need to call me. Here's my number. Are you telling me that the Molly Holshag is not you at Facebook, or that you're somebody other than her, that I have you confused with her? Oh boy. Is that how you say the name too? I don't even know. But okay, I better check my email, my junk mail, because I haven't seen anything like that. Nope, nothing at Hotmail. Nothing at all from Hotmail like that. Nothing at Hotmail. Let's see about Gmail. I don't think there's anything there either. I see nothing there either in my inbox. And oh, there's Molly from the screen. Okay, you're not the same person. Okay, I thought you were the same Molly as sorry, Molly. I thought you were the same Molly as Facebook Molly. I got it. Don't worry about it. I thought you were the Facebook Molly. You're a totally different Molly. Where are you located? I talked to them this morning about it. The video of the conversation's up. Basically, there are deadlines. Right on. So that's not real far. Have you got wheels? I I talked to them, but it's in process, and the first, it has the first sergeant has 72 hours to sign off on it. Uh, oh, cool! I'd like to get together. That'd be great. Um, didn't you say you're going to be here Thursday through Sunday? Yeah. Where are you staying? But anyway, what was I saying? uh, I forgot. There's just so much bullshit. Um, I'll give you a call when I shut the stream down. I don't know where that is. Not really sure where that is. I think that sounds like over toward A Mountain, maybe. Encantada Mall is on Skyline. Now, where's Skyline? Oh, it's like way north in the foothills. I'm downtown. I live near 22nd Street, and if it's not between 22nd Street and like Grant and Stone and maybe Country Club, I've hardly ever been there. So anyway, let's get back to this thread. So I was in attendance. This is someone named Anna Katerina Lisk. And this thread, like, I woke up to a lot of grayed out names. A lot of people left the group or were kicked out of the group over this, except for the one that got really antagonistic with boy, this is messy. This is messy. There's hundreds of comments. Witness those who support this curriculum just get up and walk out right from the start. My first thought was how disrespectful it was toward the TUSD board members and Choya High and its faculty who helped put this together today for the public. And I'm ashamed to say that some of them were from my LGBT community and allies. This woman like avoided looking at me the whole night. I never saw her. I've never met her. This is not the way to do it, people. It looked ridiculous. It looked like a very indignant crowd with a really solid message. And I'll be glad to read that sometime too, because the main moms reach right out to me because they are sharing my stuff and are loving my comments, and these people, the debate had broken down past discussion of the curriculum into a debate about the validity of these children's gender identity and sexual orientation. And a lot of people had to out themselves to argue with these people. A lot of the kids were so scared they had to be taken out of the room. And this was at Duffy. And they decided they were going to walk out from Choya because what needed to be said about the curriculum had already been said. And she didn't even spell ridiculous right. So moving on, the top comment was from Chad Michael Mosher, who is like one of the local advocates and social worker. The gay man, I'm not sure if he's trans or not. I'm starting to wonder, because I think he's cute. I might start flirting with him soon. He's a nice guy, even if he's not trans. Were you aware of the intent behind it? That some of the youth had a very difficult time listening to the hateful thing opponents had to say. That the walkout was orchestrated in a way to counter the hate held in the room. Uh, it was, here she's saying it didn't look that way to her or to other people. It just thrust me. uh, I felt the tension and dislike from those in the auditorium that are opposed to the curriculum, but we need to show a little more class and respect. The class and respect was shown the week before, and they felt that it was incumbent on them to make that statement. Uh, Many of them went back in to speak. Uh, I just couldn't. There was no point in me speaking inside because there was nothing I could say about the curriculum and the things that people were saying against it that I wouldn't get too passionate about. So I just went home when the director of pediatric trans healthcare invited me to yeah, here's everybody starting out with Chad, and then Lisette Trujillo, who's one of the mothers, Brandon Milligan, who's like one of the saga board, trans man saga board, all say, back in the play. Uh, here's I've learned this from experience in my own life. Do you have any idea how much hate and dislike I went through when I started racing within the women's bicycling fields? But I quickly learned that by being humble, classy, and respectful, I could break through and reach people's hearts and minds. This was a humble, classy, and respectful move. It was just they needed to walk out. Uh, and then here's Abby's first words on this. You are free to choose your own approach, but not to denigrate others who choose a different one. Implying that other people are not as classy as you are, or it's not okay here. Oh, and here's some idiot that had to bring up Jessica Yaniv into the conversation. What's on her mind? This is I'm not I shouldn't say names except of the high profile people. I watched a little bit of it on the 10 o'clock news last night, was stunned at the tone, vibes, hated the meeting. Felt so much pain for the children to have to listen to that. I follow many alt-right people on Twitter, so I know where the hate is coming from. These are some, and then I can't see it, and she put in the National Review, of all things, of Canada's ball-waxing horror show is peak transgender activism. The fuck she is. Everybody's putting their distance between themselves and her. And then here's Brandon saying, I wish you'd been present at the previous 3 meetings before attacking our justifiable action. Justified action it was. Here's Lisette's letter to the board. Lisette apologizing. Lisette, where did it go south? So where did it go south? Because this is all parents and trans adults that are supportive of it. Okay, here's Summer Frank's hitting her up with, like, speaking about the community on her own. Yeah, these are all people that were supportive of the thing. Here's Drew, the director of this is all just positive in support of the walkout so far. I don't see where. Oh, it looks like Anna blocked Drew up front. She probably blocked me too because of what I said about Drew. I rode home with Drew that night. Okay, so everybody's being like real politely critical of Anna so far. There's some okay, here come the militants. Here's somebody saying don't tone police and somebody backing her or backing him that can get pretty rough. There's a website here. I should get that link that you can leave comments, positive comments about the. So I don't see where they went nuts at all. Yeah, I just totally don't see where it went nuts. Because it's all people being like straight up with Anna, and nobody being okay. Here comes. Okay, here comes. Yeah, this is the one guy, one trans guy, one trans guy. Everybody else is being polite, and here's this one trans guy pitching a fit. And then Abby announced that Anna walked out and asked that people reach out to her and welcome her back. And then this twit jumped on Abby. Do you really want a toxic supporter regardless of their transition in this group? This was obviously triggering for others. Nobody was triggered. They were all like real reasonably telling this person why they didn't agree with her. And I don't think it's fair to everyone else to have someone so blatantly hateful to the movement in here. That's one of the Maoists. You know, if you just so much as like jerk the status quo the least little bit, you're an enemy of the party. I understand offering support, but this person needs education and should be educated before potentially creating another toxic step back. Just my opinion, though. Toxicity is toxicity, and it's far more hurtful when it comes from within, as this toxic little toad is projecting. Uh, oh, and here he's still at it. Here's what, and Abby was right on with this. Anna belongs here just as much as everyone else. She simply stated her personal opinion about and reaction to an event that directly affects our community. She did not attack anyone. Others disagreed with her and stated their opinions. That is all okay. What you did, you little motherfucker, is not. And you drove Abby out and myself in the process. And here's someone here's somebody that left also. Someone Abby just stuck it to him, you know. Uh, she said, you may want to consider how your own words may apply to you. She would make the strides to see and understand where everyone else is coming from. Otherwise, this keeps happening. Oh no. Here's what's up. This is a gay trans man and his partner. I'm not sure why it's okay for someone to say they're ashamed of me. I cry that someone thinks that's okay when I'm fighting for my family and kids. And here's See, this is what I'm talking about. I'm literally watching my partner be traumatized over this woman. And here you are, don't give a shit. Bring them back. I don't get it. I'm sure she isn't the only one affected by this. I'm not, no, maybe not. I don't know. This is a trans man with a cis woman with kids. I don't know. It's just, yeah. And here's somebody pitching a reasonable argument about it. She came to shame people. She implied we lack class. Shame nearly killed some of us and will indeed kill others. I would say that's pretty toxic. She wanted to say her piece, and I imagine she thought folks would join the bandwagon. She got something quite different. She furthered her argument privately with some folks and blocked them when they disagreed with her. She opted out of this group in several personal conversations. That's on her. She has received an enormous amount of support from this community. She'll always be welcome back, but she ought to be accountable. If Anna comes back, there's Abby. If Anna comes back, I'll have a conversation with her about appropriate conduct in this group. As I said, disagreement's okay, but comments on other people's characters are not. Okay, here's that one person escalating. Here's somebody whining about better layout and enforcement of rules. Yeah, there's the one guy's. Yeah, they just kept pressuring her. These three, the two trans guys and the I think she's cis female. They just kept pushing at her. Just kept pushing her buttons. Let's see where it goes. Fuck. That's not the end of it though. I guess it is. That's all he had there. It goes on because I don't see where it like really escalated to where Abby just said, "I'm out." That would be way cool, Molly. I'd like that a lot. That'd be super. I've never been up that part of town at all. That's not even a town anymore. That's in the foothills. That'd be super. I'd love it. I'll give you a holler in a little bit. I think I'm about done here. I'm not gonna bother like even responding in a comment to any of this bullshit that Sneasel's dreaming of. He's totally fucking delusional about all of it. And he's fixated on he's a fetishist. He's a fetishist. He's just a fetishist. The fascist fetishist. Let's see what else they're talking about there. This is just so fucking stupid. Oh, here it is. Here's more of it. Oh yeah, they're just keep escalating on her. Oh, and here's a little asshole. You guys, Mom said she was disappointed in us. We should sit quietly and listen to her now. Do you know what an influencer is? Yeah, they're accusing Abby of encouraging hate. Now they're challenging her on you have the power but it's banned but are not affiliated with Saga. She's Saga's legal director, one of the administrators of the group and Facebook page. I have taken on the primary role in posting and moderating both places because no one else has been willing to take on those roles. And these guys are promising to get up in her face over it. Okay, here's where she, threatened to put him on moderation. Okay, here she tried to close. She tried to close the commenting. And then they just all went ape on each other. And the new administrator came in. I'm sure they'll find where they made this disappear. I have no idea. This is where I entered into it. So I'd taken a nap. I would never have seen it anyway, even if I hadn't taken a nap, because she had me blocked up front. I have no idea what went down here this afternoon, but I would like to know, because it's quite possible I will be following Abby out the door, and I'll be saying considerably more than I'm done. It seems that the person she went toe-to-toe with has me blocked, so I can't even see the thread. I've never met this person, and last night, I do believe that she was the only trans adult present that didn't even look in my direction. I would also like to use the document for my own groups and can't be shared from here. Oh, this is the thread on the new rules. And one of the moms come in, we'd hate to see you leave, and that for your words, and thank you for your words and support last night. I'd hate to leave Lizette, but Abby is the first trans person I met in this town. She and I are both very rare birds, as old as we are, and she'll have the spoons to be able to stand up and speak out. I'm just a schlepper artist. There are plenty of aging trans artists. Abby's an attorney, not so many of those. Losing Abby is a huge loss to this group. Losing her postings on job fairs and all sorts of other news of much more importance than whining about getting misgendered El Rio or getting advice on HRT or procedures. There are much better groups for that. And this set off the new narcissist in control, the narcissistic nabob. This is a community group. Something happened here that drove one of the community leaders off. I can't see myself being able to stay if I'm unable to read the exchange that led to that and make an informed decision for myself. Does anybody have a screen cap they can show us? And then they started blocking because it was so huge. Here. She's like, with that being said, please do not say that misgendering or getting on HRT is less important. These things are very important to folks in our community, and we don't want to put people down for that. We want to uplift, uplight folks. I do want to honor the knowledge that Abby has and her commitment to the group, as she's posted a lot of job offers and done an incredible job of vetting membership for the group. I think we all need to practice self-care and take a moment to cool off from this stressful day. My space has been violated here, and Abby said the moment wasn't likely to end anytime soon. She wasn't at all expansive, and just let me know who the OP was, not who she got into it with, or that the post had been critical of the walkout. And this was even before the person got up in her face, got up in mine, that the whole trip was like, what's going on here? Oh, no, this is when he did. As the person who blew up on Abby is in Messenger now justifying his actions. I've already told him twice that I need to see the screenshots before I can comment. What the OP of the post that erupted in a flame war did was insult people who cheered for what I had to say, and she couldn't even make eye contact last night. And now that they're saying Abby was defending the OP. She did not go toe to toe with the OP. And here's, yeah, this just went south. Fuck this shit. I don't need it. I really don't need it. Hello, Diet Queen. It's okay, Molly. What would you like to know, Diet Queen? You can call on the phone if you like, but the phone won't accept it from a blocked number. And I'm not going to discuss anything in my past that you've been told that I'm a horrible person about. Saga's Southern Arizona Gender Alliance. Well, I say I work on Friday nights. I light my candles and then go out and busk. I'm an unorthodox Jew. I know I need to stop smoking, but I sure don't need any schmuck in my face, especially if you're Zionist. With recent controversy. What controversy? The Tucson, the TUSD, or more specifically, the Saga thing. I've spoken my piece about that. I really don't want to go into it any deeper. It's sad. I have my friends locally. The families like me. The healthcare providers like me. Oh, really? That's cool. I graduated from Niles East. Where in Skokie was he? And how old is he? I'm probably older than your dad. Unless, oh no, did you say you were 52? Oh boy, I have you mixed up with somebody. I thought, holy shit. Uh, I have you totally mixed up with somebody. Now I'm really embarrassed thinking about what I've said to her, thinking I was talking to you, and things I've said to you, thinking I was talking to her. Uh, let's see what else the idiots are saying. Why you guys come up with a question? This is just nuts. This is just fucking nuts. Let's see what they've said recently. Sunday at 9:30 is the last time they said anything in my thread. I think it's now tomorrow on their clock. Because there was some. Let's see what this says. The video of my call to the TPD this morning. People are talking here. Here's an idiot calling himself Taterbot. Tom, for all his mouthings to the contrary, has nobody in his life who wants to talk or hang out with him in real life or online. So he resorts to harassing people he thinks are obligated to listen to him, police, service techs, or receptionists. He doesn't want to have to actually pay for anything, so waitresses can be thankful. He's dumb as ox turd, so librarians are safe too. If he makes the mistake of thinking, as many do, that people in healthcare are also doormat handmaids, he'll get an eventual hard slap. These people can end him, and nobody can prove a thing. Dude, the only thing I don't have in my life is people who have quality time for me in the real world. My time online has plenty of people speaking to me in my threads, plenty of people that are conversing with me in discussions in other places, and people I talk to on the phone. You, on the other hand, all you have is like all these gamers that um, have delusions of intellect and redeeming social value to talk shit about people who are your intellectual and moral superiors. Oh Jesus! Here's Here's an idiot, real sad watching a grown-ass man trying to get someone to hang out with him. He's willing to bust out to someone's home and most likely plans on crashing on their couch while offering nothing except his foul presence. Or he's trying to get some action, which is equally depressing or disgusting. The person he's talking about is one of the community leaders. And we get together several times a year. Um, and it's hard for her because she's a caregiver, and she does it in her home and has very little, she's a very little free time. And as you noticed in the thread that you were lurking, she lives 4 miles from the end of the bus line. I have no desire to sleep on her couch or to have sex with her. Yes.
Hello?
Hello.
Hi, Tommy. Am I speaking with Tommy Wasserberg?
Yes, you are.
Okay, my name is Jennifer Goldstein. I'm calling from BuzzFeed. How are you doing?
Jennifer Goldstein calling from where?
From BuzzFeed.
Say again, please.
From BuzzFeed.
I'm not getting it. Let me see if I can't get a little more volume out of this. One more time, or if you're watching, put it in the. I'm not hearing it. Spell it out. Say.
I'm away from my computer right now. I'm sorry.
Okay, you're not watching the. Are you watching the stream?
Not at the moment. Not at the moment. No, I'm sorry.
Okay, so you're Jennifer Goldstein calling from. Say again.
From BuzzFeed.
Bisbee.
From BuzzFeed.
Bug seed. Could you spell it out for me? I'm sorry.
BUZZSEED.
Gotcha. Cool. What's BuzzSeed?
Hello?
Hello. What is BuzzSeed?
Okay?
I asked, what is BuzzSeed?
Well, I want to talk to you about what's happening in Tucson. I learned that there's a controversy happening in Tucson about people not being very open to trans life.
It's been pretty hotly contested in the hearings over a revision to the opt-in family life curriculum that would make it. Oh wow, BuzzFeed is wow, cool. Thanks for being interested in my opinion. Some of my helper is telling me who you are. And this is going on all over the country. The curricula for sex education has been examined by working groups made up of the healthcare providers and teachers and professional people, and they've all been found to be horribly biased against anything that's not cisgender, heterosexual, and conforms to traditional family values interpreted as Judeo-Christian settler colonialism.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, but I understand that you've encountered lots of blowback because more traditional people are in opposition to this.
Yes, there has been a terrific amount of blowback in this town. It's kind of shocking to me because I had never experienced so much contempt. I mean, people hardly notice me. If they see me as male and I say I'm not, they don't give me any arguments. And there was literally, you know, at the meeting. I went to two of the meetings. I was at the one in the Duffy School, and that they had to stop the meeting several times to admonish the speakers to tone it down because they were scaring the queer kids so bad their families had to take them out of there.
Okay.
And you know the people and you know the LGBTQ families are stepping up, and their healthcare providers and the clergy and all sorts of people supporting it are calling out these people in the old curricula for being medically inaccurate, for being like stigmatizing anybody who's not cisgender and heterosexual and conforms to traditional heteronormative family standards.
Okay, well, I think that's getting this issue from the perspective of immigrant rights. And most immigrants come from a very conservative culture. And in many instances,
I'm having a hard time understanding you.
I'm sorry, hello?
Hello, I'm having a real hard time understanding what you're saying.
Okay, I come at this from the perspective of the fact that many immigrants have a very difficult time understanding these sorts of things. And so these problems are ultimately problems of immigrants versus liberalism. And that's what I'm interested in. I fully support trans rights. I fully support self-identification. However, I understand that people from other countries coming to our countries aren't exactly on the same wavelength as we are, you know? And I feel like your story speaks to that.
I don't know about that. There were a lot of Latin families, was Latin women who led, who were mothers of queer kids who led the walkout.
Yes, I saw that comment.
Yeah, it was, you know, there was Latin families that are clashing hardest here because you've got all the Catholic, you know, the Catholic Church is instigating against queers. The Archbishop of Bialystok gave a sermon about 2 weeks before the Pride, their first Pride, and there were more people lining the parade route screaming at the marchers and throwing shit at them than there were marchers in the parade. So, and you got the, you know, you've got the evangelical Christians who are children of immigrants, children of settler colonialists, demanding that homosexual, you know, that same-sex marriage be outlawed, that cross-dressing be outlawed. They even want to outlaw mixed-race marriages again. That's how sick these people are. So this is really coming. I don't think you got the right perspective on where the resistance, all the pushback to the, just all it is age appropriate education about people's body parts and what they do with them. And you know, the most important thing that the people pushing back are not acknowledging is that by the time the queer kids get to middle school, they're already being bullied. And the curricula as they are is yeah, my I don't even want to say what the people watch what my viewers are saying about this conversation, Jennifer. Do you have any background on me before you called?
Well, yes,
I've
heard about you.
Yeah, you've heard about me from Kiwi farmers, haven't you?
Well, yes.
Well, yes. And do you believe any of the things Kiwi farmers tell you about me?
No, it doesn't matter to me. I'm interested in talking about the issue.
Right, cool. I need to press you on that because my viewers are asking me to.
I don't care about gossip. I don't care about any of that crap. All I want to know is, what is it like for you to be at the center of this firestorm?
I'm not really that much in the center of it at all. I'm kind of like being like elevated as a respected senior. I haven't had much to say. I spoke for a grand total of 2 minutes, and just between the two meetings, between the meeting and the rally, 2 minutes. I counsel a lot of kids and their parents in the groups. I love it. To be honest, it validates me. That I have 2 groups at Facebook that have 500 people apiece in them discussing transgender science and transgender politics. Pardon me?
There seems to be a lot of tension.
Tension?
Yes, tension. One side of the issue is very traditional, and the other side of the issue is very non-traditional. It's very pro-queer.
Oh, yeah.
And it feels like, do you ever feel like you're in battle against immigrants?
Oh, no, not at all. I'm in a border town where I'm involved with the people that are advocating for Sanctuary City.
Do you support Sanctuary City?
I'm an indigenous person myself who believes that the good creator never put any lines on the ground, and that all these Central Americans that are coming up here are fleeing untenable situations that are caused by our corporations and our government meddling in theirs. And these people are indigenous people that are being told to go away by...
I understand, but that's the issue. The same people you seek to attack in are also the people most hostile to your identity.
I don't see that. I haven't seen it. I've never seen it, especially not in Tucson. Oh, and I'm being told that if you're really with BuzzFeed, I should be getting paid for this.
I'm a freelance journalist. I'm sorry.
That's okay. They also want to know if you're transgender.
That's none of their business.
Well, it kind of affects the way I feel about being interviewed like this. Like, what exactly is the purpose of the interview I'm being asked?
Because your story is very interesting.
Thank you.
You're currently at the forefront of, I mean, tell me, think about what's going on. A community that's very unaccustomed to these issues is being forced to confront these issues. And you are at the forefront.
Oh, not at all. Not at all. You're mistaken on that one completely. I came into a community that the case was settled in 1999. We've been gender identity has been protected under the anti-discrimination ordinance for 20 years.
Well, I'm speaking about the school curriculum issue.
Well, it's been coming for a long time. The institutionalized discrimination against transgender people begins with these sex education classes where they're stigmatizing the queer kids, teaching the straight kids to hate on them, and teaching the queer kids to be afraid of themselves. This has been coming.
Why do you think they're hate? Why do you think it's homophobic? What is homophobic about the curriculum?
The old curriculum?
Yes. What is homophobic about the original?
Oh, well, anything that's not heterosexual behavior is considered aberrant. Yeah, I'm with you guys. I'm not trusting this at all. She claims to be a freelancer, and she's staying away from forbidden territory and keeping it pretty well focused.
Well, tell me.
I was talking to my...
This is an issue that we're dealing with as a society.
Oh, yeah. And I'm very proud to be in the position that I'm in, getting the respect I'm getting from the parents, the healthcare providers, and the trans people. I'm really proud of the things that the Spirit's motivating me to do and say and write, and the reaction that it's getting. These people cheered for me when I told them, after I told them that the average life expectancy is 35, then I was about to celebrate my 65th birthday. They busted out cheering. And then when I finished with on the note of we can't go back to what it was before Obama started loosening things up for us, they started chanting, "We won't go back." How do you think I feel about all this? I'm like, it's more respect and love than I can really take graciously without sounding weird. She's not.
That's really cool. That's really cool. I'm really happy for you.
Thank you.
I'm really happy that you lived long enough to see this, you know?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I come from the neighborhood in Chicago. And it was different than LA or the like the Tenderloin or the Village, because it wasn't illegal. The clubs didn't get raided. There was never any riots over it.
But do you feel that when you speak of transgender children, you're alienating the same people who have allowed you the freedom to live who you are?
Well, I like to use the term gender variant, trans feminine, trans masculine, and concentrate on like why are people who are naturally born this way without doing any surgery or anything to themselves, why are these people stigmatized? Why is it so uncool? Why are they so uncool toward people like that? What?
Why is who uncool?
Everybody anybody who's cisgender and heterosexual is going to stigmatize and ridicule masculine women and feminine men. It's as far as generational thing. It's been in society forever, and that's what these people want to address with the new curriculum. It's just like the old curriculum are like 1950s talking about queers. It's totally medically inaccurate, morally unsound.
But do you think those sorts of people are encouraged to become trans?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. The protocols say to just let the kid express themselves. Don't encourage anything and don't discourage anything.
Okay, so then tell me, what is the ultimate goal of including gender nonconformity into trans in the curriculum? Well,
the person that you're mostly been communicating with is a total fucking fetishist and a completely dishonest man. Okay?
Sorry, what?
The person that my viewers think that you are like in love with and are a transgender woman that has been fucking yawning Sneasel.
No, I'm sorry. Go on.
No, that's what my viewers are saying right now about you, is that you're yawning Sneasel's trans girlfriend. But anyway, that's the wrong, to inject transgender so prominently into this debate is not accurate. That we're talking about same-sex attraction and gender variant ideations in school-age children. Okay, it's not just transgender, it's just all forms of queer that the new curricula are addressing. And they don't, it's all very matter of fact, age appropriate, doesn't encourage any kind of behaviors that are inappropriate for children. Okay? By the time these kids are 8 or 10 years old, they're getting bullied. And they're ready for that first lesson in the birds and the bees. And the point that the LGBTQ activists and advocates are making is that it's time to start teaching the kids that some of the bees are attracted to the same sex, and some of the bees don't want to stay the same, are not really the same gender as their sex. These things, especially that people need to learn that the binary only applies to the gametes. Everything after that, there's too much variation. There are body variations in sex organs and sexual characteristics. Are you still there? Oh,
I'm so used to it. I think that if be very confusing to children.
Actually, the kids get it better than the adults. Totally better than the adults.
In what way? How do you mean kids understand better than adults?
They take it better than adults. They meet transgender people and are much more compassionate and understanding and accepting of them than most grown-ups.
But if you're talking about children, and children are being told that you're born in the wrong body, that you actually
That's
girls or you're
this is another false thing. This is, you know, the born in the wrong body. That's a myth. That's a false trope. Because it's not about being born in the wrong body. First of all, before I cut this off, because they're convinced that you're bullshit, the children are the ones that have to convince their parents, not vice versa. And it's the doctors who have convinced the parents to accept it. Okay, do you understand that? It's not about being born in the wrong body. It's about their sex and gender don't match. My body, there was never anything wrong with my body except they didn't like the way my genitals looked, so they carved on them and fucked up my nervous system in the process. Okay? And it's different for every trans person.
I'm very sorry that that happens.
Yeah, and here's people like Sneasel, and all those fake, you know, I call them Sigmund Freud, all those people with delusions of intellect and redeeming social value at Kiwi Farms, telling you things that just aren't true about the transgender experience. They're simply not true.
Listen, Tony, I have no interest in any of that. I'm only interested in the debate.
Well, I'd recommend that you avoid organizations like that. And if you're really the community standard for the knowledge base is established at GLAAD, GLAAD.org under media reference file. If you want to know about transgender health care, you want to tune into the WPATH and their standards of care. Don't be getting your information from a bunch of people, gamers that are out trying to hurt people, because it's all bullshit.
I'm not.
Well, what are your other sources besides Kiwi Farms?
The fact is that these are issues that are becoming more and more important.
True, and I'm happy to like share my perspective with you, but I really I'm gonna want to see any copy before you I want to see it before you sell it. Okay, make sure that you are.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, you start quoting me, I'm gonna want to see it before you post it. Because we got the whole conversation right here on videotape.
Well, I have none of my questions to ask, okay?
Okay, but that's where it's at. That's where it's at. You're free to write about it, but you post it without my permission, you could expect to get sued if I don't like what you post.
Do you mind if I ask you more questions?
No, go ahead.
Okay. So, there was a curriculum proposal in Tucson.
Correct.
And the curriculum proposal said that, well, you tell me, what did the curriculum say?
I haven't read it, but just in general, I'm real good, Cedric. How are you doing tonight? I'm hoping it's not a troll kind. She seems to be a legitimate journalist working on a story about the controversy over the curricula, the LGBTQ curricula, and she hasn't crossed any boundaries. and took your accusations in stride. So that's where we're at. Anyway, back to you. The curriculum that was proposed, as I told you, the old one was just heteronormative and biased against queers. The new curriculum, I don't know. I don't care. I really don't care. The new curriculum, because I'm doing what I do, and the more people that hate on me that way, the more like credibility I get with the people that know what's going on. What do I mean? I don't care. They're telling me that they think you're somebody fucking with me for a documentary that he's a trash documentary that he's working on. And I really don't care. It doesn't matter, because nothing I've done in my life is anything I really need to be ashamed of now. And nothing I'm doing now is anything that anybody has any rational arguments against. So I don't care if you're really a troll. So far, the conversation has been useful. And
I'm never told. In fact, it bothers me. But I just
well, I get trolled heavily. Thank you. I get trolled heavily, and some of the people who've been like watching me for a while. Yeah, see, here's somebody saying, just letting you know that they're using this as a way to bring your involvement with teen trans rights into Yana shit. And I stand with all of the global organizers and activists in denouncing Yana, that this is not somebody that can be held as an example of the whole community. Jessica Yana, the ball waxing incident in Canada.
Okay, I do not care about that.
Right on. I avoided it for the longest time until people started putting it in my face. It's like, no, wait a minute. The community does not support that bullshit one little bit.
I understand that it's not an issue. The real issue is the fact that I have to understand that it's right.
You seem to have a genuine interest in queer rights, and have found my story fascinating. I appreciate that.
I do because can you imagine another time in history? Like, can you imagine in the 80s when like a gay man would defend gays for a school district? That just didn't happen.
Right.
It didn't happen.
I know. I was there. I told you I grew up in Lakeview, in Chicago, which is Chicago's neighborhood. And no, it wasn't. And that's what I've been saying, is that these kids deserve the happiness my generation never had. And the people that are like, the Yiddish expression is "Hach mir nicht mit der Chinik." Just don't beat me over the head with your teapot. The people that are bitching about it are bitching about it in terms that are morally unsound, shitty interpretation.
What are they bitching about? Can you tell me? What are they bitching about?
Well, they're concerned that kids are being encouraged to be transgender and encouraged to be same-sex attracted. Is the main concern, that for the kids to be learning this stuff in middle school is inappropriate because they believe they're too young to make decisions about things like that, which is a bunch of crap, because the majority of transgender kids are aware of a problem by the time they're 3 or 4 years old. This is when a person's gender identity is forming, is between 3 and 6. And I can assure you that when my parents started telling me that I couldn't be a girl because I had a penis, I had no idea that the thing was used for anything other than urinating.
Okay.
And that's the problem, is that these kids need to know that it's okay to be queer. The queer kids need to know that it's okay to be queer, and the straight kids need to know that it's okay for queer kids to be queer. That's where the institutionalized discrimination against us starts, is in the schools. And it's passed from generation to generation. The curricula they looked at was like Ozzie and Harriet and their kids, is what they were selling to these kids, and they were selling it hard. And that's what the new curriculum is seeking to avoid, is that they just want to lay out the necessary facts, medically accurate facts, in a non what's the word I'm looking for? They're not trying to convince the kids to be straight or gay. They're just saying this is what it can be, and that's all they're doing. And the people that are complaining and on traditional family values are defending their right to live in a patriarchal, man-dominated society of rapists and thieves and murderers, and want to make sure their kids don't grow up queer and break the family tradition.
Yeah, I understand. I understand. It makes sense that you want kids to understand that it's okay.
Right. That's all they're looking for. That's all the trans, this so-called trans agenda that they think we're forcing on them, and this small, we're forcing this trans agenda on it. All we want is to be recognized as ourselves, to have autonomy over our own bodies, to be able to dress ourselves the way we want, for the kids to be able to, that's all they're telling the kids. They're worried about, sex change surgery and hormones and shit in kids, and that's not what's happening with these kids. The kids are just being allowed to dress how they like, to wear their hair as long as they want to wear it, and to play with what they want to play with. That's all that's happening with kids until they hit Tanner stage 2 puberty. That's all that's going on, is they're letting them be themselves. And the kids who aren't transgender are going to settle into something that they're comfortable with and aren't going to want the drugs or surgery. And the people that...
But lots of children will try, will experiment with many different things. They'll experiment with girl toys, they'll experiment with different clothing.
Exactly.
They'll experiment.
Yeah, and a cool father, when their son comes home and says, I like tutus, the daddy's going to go out and buy a pair of tutus and dance with the kid. There's a commercial to go, a real heart tearjerker that's going around right now, of a veteran coming home from a combat tour to his son, now his daughter. A really touching scene where he just instantly accepts the child.
And he just assumed that boy is a transgender person.
He left when he went off overseas. He left a son, and he came back where his son had decided to.
Tommy, listen. Maybe that boy is just a gay boy. Maybe that boy is
Well,
brought to be gay.
That's okay too. By the time anything is done, that's in the way of chemicals, that's irreversible, that child is a teen now that's had a few years to think about it, and is likely to just not do anything about it. The doctors and the parents are watching for persistent, insistent, and consistent talk about being of the other gender. And someone who's just a gay boy is likely to just grow out of it. It's all taken into consideration. Pardon me? No, that's the way it works. That's the way it works. By the time the kids get to the HRT and the surgeries, the satisfaction rate is close to 100% on the hormones and close to 95% on the surgery. And most of the complaints about the surgery have been botch jobs or bad post-operative care.
Tommy, I'm sorry, I want to be real with you, but it's very disturbing. These surgeries are extremely disturbing.
I really don't want to go there. It's something that it took me a lot of years to be able to cope with the disconnect.
How do you mean the disconnect?
Oh, there's a horrible disconnect between what my penis is telling my brain and what my brain is expecting to hear.
Wouldn't you rather have a penis than have a...
My brain can't even see my penis properly. It thinks there's a vagina down there, and to get the signals from the penis where the nerve endings are and getting the chemicals has been just one horror in my life after another, because I have internal medicine problems because of it. You know, the cough that they'll tell you is COPD is really chronic upper respiratory congestion. I've had since I was a little kid. You know, they love my chimp outs because I have this like adrenaline metabolism defect that gets me like to get really wound up easy, to where I'll have a Tourette's like outbursts of rage that they find highly entertaining.
Wouldn't you rather have functional body parts than a surgeon that you can constantly die?
Well, that's why I don't, you know, this is one of the reasons I don't want to go there. I'm waiting on the I'm waiting on the ancient astronauts to come and restore order to this planet. As far as any surgical modifications to myself go, I'm waiting on the real medicine to come home. The people who do it, I fully support, because of how much mental anguish I know they're experiencing with their gender dysphoria. It is fucking like one of the most debilitating birth anomalies. Yeah, I dig, Molly. Totally dig. I'm about to like shut this down because we're definitely we're starting to go into forbidden territory. You know, gender dysphoria. Well,
it's not a pretty picture.
No, it's a bloody mess actually, but it's something that is a medical necessity for these people who simply cannot live comfortably in their own skin. They need to get their genitals modified. Pardon me?
That's the question.
It's what?
That's the question. You're telling children that if you feel like a girl, you need to be a girl and you need to have girl reproductive organs.
That's bullshit too that you're getting from the haters. That's total bullshit. That's bullshit. It's bullshit.
That's what you've been telling me.
Who?
You.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. There are transgender people. There are transgender people there that have been living as the opposite sex for 30, 40 years without any hormones or surgery. Most transgender people do not get surgery. There's only about 20% of them. It's all about, for me at least, I can only speak for myself. I'm a trans feminine male. I have absolutely no intention of getting anything modified on this world. I'm living with what I was born with, but I refuse to accept the arbitrary standards that are set on me for behavior and grooming just because I'm in possession of a penis.
That's totally fine, Tommy. That's normal. But why do you...
Well, I also, because of the severe disconnect that exists in people who suffer from gender dysphoria, that I understand and fully support their need to do it. It is a medical necessity. I also support the body autonomy of genderqueers who want to get these procedures just to, for cosmetic purposes, so that they can put on a better show of being a man or a woman. I'm cool with that too. It's none of anybody else's business to even, if it offends you, don't look.
Okay. I get what you're saying. I understand. It is very dumb of me to pretend that I'm horrified by a surgical procedure when we live in a world of many surgical procedures. You don't understand.
Oh, are they streaming it on Kiwi Farms? I think on that note, hon, thanks for your time. Bye. Bye. my audience is telling me that this is being simulcast on the Kiwi Farms. Well, you might not have anything to do with it, but it's being simulcast on the Kiwi Farm. So bye. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. I really do appreciate that. I knew that there was a problem from the get-go, and she was staying off of forbidden territory, but she started to get, she started to get critical of gender surgery. So that was where it went. Thanks, Donald. Oh, and here we have more. Hello. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You're welcome. You're welcome to contact me by email or something. But tonight we're done. We're done. We're done. Goodbye. Well, that's the hippie way, man. I had to live in silence with my queerness most of my life. Okay. And when I got out of college, the only access that I had, yeah, right. What interviewer calls at 11 o'clock? The only access that I had to gender care was through the gay sex trade. And that just wasn't going to happen around the corner from my grandma. And I never really could relate. I'm not homosexual. It's weird to describe because in my dreams I'm a wife and mother, but in my waking time, my penis wants to go into a vagina. And when I was younger, I just would like be with women and visualize myself as being the one on the bottom when we were going at it, or I could be on the top too. I had my first living lover like to get on me, which was quite cool because it made it easier to like imagine I was the one getting fucked. But anyway, where was I going? I forgot where I was going. I'm sorry. But that's just crazy. Let me see if I can find the stream that you're talking about at the farm. Kiwi Farms, for those who don't know. There we go. Kiwi Farms. Where's my Fluta? Where's my squirt bottle? I think I saw it on the floor earlier. Shit. I was gonna do some straightening it up in here. Got a little started, but then dropped it again. Let's see if we can find that. Oh, look, somebody's filing against Kiwi Farms in the Supreme Court. But anyway, Supreme Court is this nest of alt-right terrorists who key on transgender people. They're mostly video gamers and had a lot to do with their Gamergate. Look up fascist furry. That's kind of a scary thing. These guys have been involved in like lots of suicides, school shootings, the mosque shooting in New Zealand, the El Paso shooting a few weeks ago. Again, something like 9 suicides they've stimulated. Real charming crowd. I'm one of their favorite targets. The idiots that come here from there are usually those. Now let's see if I can find this stream you're talking about. Tonight's stream. Really Shitty Monday. There it is. Nobody said much. Nobody said anything. So they weren't really streaming that conversation, but she was like, not, um, I wasn't feeling comfortable, and you're all telling me this is bullshit. So bye. Yeah, nothing. Nobody's really said anything tonight. They haven't said much lately. You know, they're getting a little mileage out of the curriculum controversy. They got a little mileage out of. They're not getting. You know, they're not talking about me much, which is cool. Which is cool. But I'm good with that. So you know about the Chris Chan saga. Oh, how late? How late? We'll cut this off in a few minutes then, and I'll give you a holler, Molly. Um, I'll take a look at what bullshit's going on at another message board. But I'm surrounded by so many like really cool people on the internet. People that really have their shit together and are standing strong for all the right things and standing against all the right things. And fuck the dumb shit. You know, I don't have any friends that have any time for me. Tom swatted Michelle Delaney first. The fuck I did. What's this shit? Just the usual shit, and not much activity. Yeah. Let me shut this down and I'll give you a holler right now. Never sleep. Shoved a medallion up his ass. Oh my God. Well, thanks. I'm glad I could be of company to nice folks late at night. I really should do it early. I can't. I used to when at my old place I could play at night. I could play late at night, but I can't hear. No, my new neighbor has a school age daughter that gets up early. Christine's a little weird. Christine's a little real strange, you know, and oh boy, that whole site, all those people are strange. They got a bunch of transgender people that are like run the trannier now shit all over the place, and that Sneasel is just a total like perverted deviant that and dishonest. You know, he just makes shit up. And supposedly he's like a psychology professor that runs a whole gang of his students. He's a gay psychology professor, topper, and he has a bunch of bottom boys that he I don't have nearly enough viewers to monetize anything. You know what I really wish is you guys had hit the like button more than the than the haters do. That always looks weird when I come in. There's like 12 dislikes. Oh Lord, that's just too weird for me. See, that's the other thing is they're trying to rope me into this reality of bears that involves all that kind of kinky, weird sex, and that's not me at all. This is totally not me at all. Yeah, they were saying, what about Michelle Delaney? They ran an imposter, her. Oh, Michelle, fuck, you got a lot of money. I think on that note, I'm going to say thanks for watching, folks. And Molly, I'm going to call you right now. Rock and roll. Bye.